Today I'm going to be teaching you a very important life lesson. So the first point that I have here is this idea, and this it's like a story. This happens before, and it happens all the time. So there's a dude who he died of hunger, right? He's dead. He's gone now. He's no longer with us because he died due to hunger. Homeless dude, whatever the circumstances, it doesn't matter. He's dead now because he died of hunger, right? But when we pull up to his funeral, everyone that pulls up is gonna get fed. Everyone's gonna have a full belly, even though he died of hunger, right? So that's the first thing to keep in mind as we go through this, and then once we go through all the points, it's gonna make sense, and it's all gonna click at the end. So what does this mean? If people are fed after you're dead, when you died, that means that you were hungry, right? So when you're at a low point and you're struggling and you're going through adversity, people will not really help you when you're down, and when you're really struggling. You can't really turn to people in those moments, because people ain't help you when you're down, right? People love a winner, but people do not really help you when you're in need of some help, right? So, and the other point that goes with this is like, people don't care about you when you're a loser. People only really care about the winners. People only really talk about you when you're relevant and you're popping off. But when you're losing, people will not talk about you, and not only will they not going to talk about you, they're not going to come and help you. The third point that I have here is like, people will bring flowers to your funeral, but they will not bring you soup when you're sick. So when you're really struggling and you're going through a tough time of you actually need help, people ain't gonna help you. But when you're gone, people will provide flowers at your funeral, because it's like that's something that you have to do. But when you as a person, you were actually struggling and you needed help, no one came to aid you. So it shows that, like, after, we're here for a short period of time and then we're gone. So nobody really cares about you that much. It's like Ilya Taporia, he said this thing where it's like, when I don't know, it's like the rule of like 20 40 80, something like that. Like each time your age doubles, you learn something. And it's like, when you're young, when you're like 20, you think that you care about what everybody thinks about you. And then when you're 40, you realize that nobody was nobody was nobody was actually thinking about you that much. Or no, when you're 40, you realize that you realize to not care about what anyone else is saying about you. And then when you're 80, then you realize no one was even thinking about you at all in the first place. So I think that this goes hand in hand with that, is that like, once we're gone, people will bring flowers and people will give their condolences and things like that. People will talk about you, and then, but when you actually needed help, people aren't going to be there to help you. So it's very important to be a self-sufficient individual. Um, and we're here for a brief period of time, and then we're gone. So you don't need to live your life trying to live up to someone else's expectations, trying to do what someone else wants you to do, because we're only here for such a short period of time that it's like, you should just make the most of the short time that you have in this experience, doing what you want to do. Like, a lot of people don't like what I have to say on these videos, but I'm not living for what someone else wants me to do. I'm just living how I believe that I need to live my life. So I'm making these videos because that's what I believe that God needs me to do, and that's what I believe that in this current moment, in this pendulum of time that I'm living in, this is what I believe that God has given me the ability and gifted me the abilities to speak clearly and speak concisely and convey ideas in a way that people are able to understand. So that's what I believe that my purpose in this current period of time of my life is, that I need to create videos to help the young men demographic, is what I believe my purpose is right now. So I'm living up to that purpose, and I'm not listening to what other people have to say. I'm just saying what I feel. And sometimes when you say what you feel, speaking the truth in a world full of lies can make you seem crazy at times. So I'm not trying to do what someone else wants me to do. I'm not even trying to make the type of videos that I think that people will really like. I'm just trying to teach people. I'm just trying to help people, because I believe that if you try to chase something, you're not gonna get it. Like, let's go, I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but if you try to spend all your time chasing butterflies, it's gonna be very difficult to chase them, right? maybe you get to the point where you have a net and you might catch a few, you might not catch any, but you might catch one. It's not that good. But if you spend your time trying to build a garden and you have all these flowers, you have all these plants, it's beautiful, there's bees come, it's a thriving, flourishing garden, right? Then you're gonna be able to like attract all the butterflies. You're gonna have all the butterflies around you all the time, right? And even if the butterflies don't come, you still have a garden. And in my opinion, having a flourishing garden is a lot better than having some wandering butterflies. So what you got to do what you feel that you need to do, not what you feel that other people want you to do. And you can't spend your time chasing. You have to attract. Like it's the same thing with money, and that I just said with that analogy. If you spend your time just like chasing and trying to like pry away and get money, you're not gonna get it. It's a lot easier to make money when you just do what you believe it, that is gonna help people. Like if you give, you're gonna receive. Like I really believe in like not fully, but like karmic retribution. Like I kind of believe in that. Like what you put out into the world, I believe that you're gonna get back. Like I think that you do bad things, bad things are gonna come back to you. But I also believe that if you do good things, I think that God will reward you. And I think that we are, as a man thinketh, so is he. But also as a man sows, so shall he also reap. So I think that what the seeds that you're planting are going to come to fruition. So if you're planting seeds of malice and hate, that's going to come back to you. But if you're planting seeds of goodness and prosperity, that's also going to come back to you. So I believe that if you give a lot, you're going to receive a lot. So I think with money, that's how it goes. If you're trying to chase money, it's not going to come to you. And it's the same thing with women. If women are very repulsed if you're just like very needy and chasing, but it's usually the guys who aren't really focused on women that they tend to find a good significant other, because they're not like this needy, greedy, just like trying to take and trying like to need or to want. They end up seeming very creepy. But I feel like when you work on yourself, you're able to attract a lot easier. So going back to this point, after the funeral, after everybody has given the flowers and stuff, usually after people don't really care after you're gone, right? People, honestly, there's a high likelihood that at your funeral after, people are going to be celebrating. Like people are gonna be like, okay, the funeral's over, let's all go to my house, whatever, we're gonna have a celebration, we're gonna have a party, just after the funeral, whatever. So honestly, when you're going through a tough spot, it's not even that you don't have someone to turn to, it's that it feels like everyone's against you in the moments when you're going through a tough spot. People aren't, it's not just that they are not there for you, it's that they're against you. So when you're losing, it's like momentum. It's like losing is kind of like a downward spiral. But as this downward spiral is going on, the internal spiral that you can have is going up. So then you can pendulum swing. Because when you have a bow and you pull it back, before this arrow can really fly forward, when you pull this arrow back, it has to be pulled back, and it's here, and all the tension is here. And once the tension is let go, once it's been pulled back as far as you can, the farther you pull it back, the further it's going to shoot forward. So I think that as you're getting pulled back, I believe that you can transmutate all of that negative energy to propel you to do something fantastic moving forward. Recontextualizing. So, coming back to this first point, now that I've explained all this to you, food at the funeral of a guy that died from hunger. Okay, so there's food, just to recap, there's food at this guy's funeral, but he died of hunger, but everyone around him is eating after he's gone. Okay, we need to recontextualize that, because most of us aren't going to die of hunger if you are watching this video. So I feel like if you're going through a rough spot and you need help, you need like a community, you need help. You just, you're going through a rough spot. You need friends to, you need community to rely on, because you just need social help. You need someone to talk to, something like that. But when you're going through a tough time, all of your friends are like supposed friends or like community that you go to, they're going to be hanging out while you like are looking for someone to go to, but all these people are hanging out and you're left here alone. So while you're starving, these people are like, you're literally dead, you're in your funeral, and these people are eating. So I feel like that's like one way to recontextualize it, is that when usually the thing that you are going through the tough time due to, other people are going to have in fruition, because you're going through a tough time, it's usually because you're in lack of something. So just recontextualizing like that, and not trying, and also, this is very key, going back to that first point, you can't be chasing and trying to just chase. You instead need to attract. So if you're trying to hang out with people and they don't want to hang out with you, and you're reaching out and you're reaching out, you can't, it's not sustainable. You can't just keep trying to schedule hangouts and doing all these things. If people don't want to hang with you, you can rock alone for a little bit. That's fine, because like I said, when the farther this arrow gets stretched back, the farther it's going to shoot forward, and the more success you're going to have. Usually, the more difficult time that you go through, the greater time that's coming ahead. Because you're building and you're planting and going through a very rough time, a very good time is coming after. I was gonna say something. It was gonna work in with what everything that I'm saying so well. Yeah, as this arrow gets pulled back, it's gonna fly forward the farther it gets pulled back. But okay, as you're going through these times where you're trying to reach out and hang out with people, like this happened to me. I was trying to hang out with one of my friends, right? And he's like, "Nah, I can't hang out. I have this. I gotta do this thing." And then I gotta do this thing this weekend. And then on his story, I saw him posted, literally that weekend that I was trying to hang out with him. He posted up with a bunch of other, like friends from my school, like a bunch of other people. So it's like, yo, like I'm not trying to carry fake people moving forward. Because if you have to walk alone, that's what you have to do. Because I'm not trying to be like this dude at the funeral with fake people. I'd rather live a different type of life than being surrounded by fake people. Because when you have very bad things that happen to you, and it's just like L after L after L, it's easier for you to just how do you say, if you're going through like something very very bad happens to you, you're able to take that energy, and it's going to help you like make more decisions. So like, let's say that you are a successful manager at some sort of business, or you're a CEO, you're a founder, something like this, and like you need to make some layoffs, like you need to lay off people for whatever reason of your business. But in your personal life, you're going through a divorce. Like if you get handed those divorce papers when you pull up to work, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to just be like, yes, you guys are gonna, this happened to me, so I'm just gonna fire you guys because this is what I have to do. I've been like procrastinating, I haven't wanted to do it, but like this bad thing has happened to me, so now I'm just gonna lay you guys off. So I think that we're able to use a very bad situation, and we're able to use that to our own benefit, because the alternative is to just fall into despair, which is what the devil wants you to do, is to just fall into despair. Is one of the key things that demons try to attack holy people with. Is like, it's not just tempting them with sin, it's trying to get them to fall into despair, because despair is a very dark place to be in. So I think that just don't fall into despair when tough times are going on, because you can, as this bow and arrow is getting pulled farther and farther back, you have to understand that a good time is coming ahead. There's seasons. People operate in seasons. There's seasons of a lot of reaping, and after there's a lot of ¿cómo se dice? After there's a lot of like sowing, you've been planting, you've been working, you've been building, you've been improving yourself, because you just bad things happen to you, so it's allowed you to spiral, to just focusing on yourself more and more and more, so it gets to the point where you've been sowing and sowing and sowing, and then when the season to reap comes, after you've been planting all of these seeds, something amazing is going to come into fruition. So man, I was going to say something, but I kind of went on a side tangent, but it was something that I had. It was like a really good idea, but I didn't write it down, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So when you're going through bad times, you can't you can't just sit around doing nothing, thinking about how terrible your situation is. You just have to take action. You have to start doing things. You can't sit and wait for tomorrow to come, because the sun does not stop for anybody. The sun, that like you guys can't see it, but I'm looking up ahead. The sun is rising. You guys can probably see that the sun has been rising. The sun is rising and the moon is setting right now. So it's gonna keep happening every single day. So you can waste a year and the year can go by and you did nothing. You know, you look by the year and you done what? You done nothing. Or you can realize that the sun don't stop for nobody. It's gonna keep shining no matter what you've listened to this and you've recontextualized it for yourself and you understand it. You know, the sun doesn't stop for anybody. So you can throw a sorry party for yourself, or you can just decide to take the situation and become better from it. It's not easy, but you know, the farther that you go, the farther that you're gonna fly. So tough times create tough men. So usually the more struggle that you go through, the more like if you're gonna create a character and you wanted to create this character to be as strong as it could possibly be, and you wanted this character to be as patient as possible, you'd probably give them a life where they did not receive anything at the time that they wanted it, because you're trying to create the most patient character that you could possibly create. So because this character has not received anything at the time that they wanted it, and they've had to wait and wait and wait, they've become incredibly patient. So I think that if you want to become an individual of character, you have to go through character building times. So these times that are testing your character, in the end, they're going to build immense character. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Maybe I kind of already said it. As a man thinketh, so is he, but a man as you sow, so shall he also reap. Yeah. W vid.